When I first fired up Schedule 1, I was a little skeptical, but as I played the game, I quickly found myself getting hooked, and I just could not put the game down. In all my mad dashing between locations to make as much money as possible or do as many deals as possible, there were some times where I thought it would be kind of cool to slow down and do some stuff in the game world. And there are a few of those features in the game, like the casino being an example, but it got me thinking, wouldn't it be cool if this game had some more immersive features? Today, I put together a list of 15 mods that do exactly that. They bring a little bit of immersion to Schedule 1. By the time you're watching this, the Cartel update is probably already out. And I did design this list of mods with that in mind. I don't think the Cartel update is going to break any of these mods. If anything, it might replace them with the same features, only done better. And hey, that's cool. So either way, you win. If the Cartel update's out, you're still in the right place. Also, if you're interested in modding, but you're scared to break your game, don't worry. I've got a little guide at the very end of this video that goes super quick, and you'll feel very comfortable modding the game. Schedule 1, fortunately, is an extremely easy game to mod. All right, with that out of the way, let's get started with the first mod, which is actually two mods. Botanists use sprinklers, and botanists use the soil pourers. So this mod does exactly what it says. How frustrated were you when you finally got employees unlocked in the game, and then you put down a sprinkler and a soil pourer, and you found out they don't use them? I had actually bought a crap ton of them with that in mind. So I was a little frustrated, but this allows employees to use them. Now, you might still need to fill up the soil pourer. I'm not sure if you do, but I went on ahead and did that anyway. Either way, you're going to speed up the botanist's work speed because they'll use the sprinklers and they'll use the soil pourers if they're filled. And it takes like 5 seconds to fill up the soil pourers. So it's really not that big of a deal if you can't assign them to fill it up. And I thought it was a little unimmersive that you couldn't have your employees like use a sprinkler and a soil pourer. Like, come on. Anyways, moving on. Now we've got character customizer. I was actually kind of blown away that you couldn't change your appearance in the middle of the game. I started my guy out with a little bit of stubble, and when the money started rolling in, I thought, well, now it's time to upgrade to that goatee, that sweet, sweet, beautiful goatee. But unfortunately, there was no way to do that. So I had actually ended up editing my save file to do that. But you don't need to do all that. All you need to do is install character customizer. With this installed, what you're going to do is hit the tilde key, which is the squiggly key below escape, and then you're going to type in character customizer. That's it. Hit enter, and the character customization screen will open up, and you can customize your character and save it. You can do this whenever you want, however many times you want. It's a super useful, handy mod just for role playing a little bit and adding a little bit more immersion, since there's no way in the game world to currently change your physical appearance. Now in this game, especially after Unk's arrested, you're all alone in a new town. Now sure, you get employees, you get people to help you distribute your merchandise, but you're doing it alone for the most part. You're not actually running around interacting with these people. Now this mod doesn't add anything too crazy, but it does add someone to keep you company, a very special little low poly canine, and this is Schedule K9. Now I know what you're thinking, what the hell am I looking at? What is this thing? Well, he's your best goddamn friend, that's who he is. You'll die for this low poly creature. Sure, he's annoying, runs around, clips through doors, and gets in your way all the time, but that's not too big of a deal because you can just go up to him and press P and he'll stay exactly where you told him to stay, like the good boy he is. You can even pet him, although there's not any animation that I've seen, but there is like a little dialogue thing that pops up at the bottom, and it's pretty cool. While the look of the dog might not be that immersive, having a dog in this world is immersive, and I think it's really funny running around with them, and he's just cool, and having a dog's cool, so I highly recommend this mod, as janky as it is. Moving on to a quality of life mod that is also immersive, we have enhanced dealers. This is a really handy mod. So what this mod's going to do is it's going to go ahead and increase the limit of customers from 8 to 16 for all of your dealers. Not only that, but it adds a collect cash button to an app that you now have on your phone. So you don't have to run around backhanding your dealers for money. You can just collect it on the phone. There's also custom dealer cuts, so you can determine how much they actually get. So you can completely cheese the game, or you can make it a little harsher. It's totally up to you. There's even faster dealing speed for dealers, kind of speed them up a little bit, get them to get that product moving a little bit faster. Not all of them get to sell to Jesse Waters. This mod even does something that should have probably been done from the get-go, and that is it expands the inventory size for your dealers. Now it's like they actually have a physical location they live where they can store stuff. Probably the only unimmersive thing about this is that you could remove their cuts if you wanted to, but that's optional. Or that you could also literally text them the items you want them to sell. But imagine it however you want to. This mod just makes things a lot smoother, a lot easier, and honestly, you would think your dealers would be able to sell to more than 8 people, especially if you vouch for them. So I think this is a great mod to add for the immersion list. This next mod is either going to make you super happy or crush your soul, and that's the enhanced Casino Mod. And I think it's immersive for two reasons. One, it makes the casino 24/7 because casinos want your money. And two, it ups the amount that you're allowed to bet to $25,000. So yes, you could go in and get extremely lucky and make a crap ton of cash, but honestly, the casino isn't really balanced to begin with, and I don't think it should be because that's not how casinos work. Maybe it should work a little bit more against you, but you know what? Is it fun? Yeah. Is it immersive? Why not? Yeah, it's immersive to go in and win $500,000 in a casino. Yeah, it's fun. Now, maybe someday something like this will be in the base game, and maybe if you win too much, you'll get kicked out and banned from the casino, something like that. But for now, this is cool. It works. I'm tired of hitting up the casino, and then before I know it, it's curfew. So this mod is amazing. It's also great for late game players. And something I think about a lot of these mods too that is kind of a theme with most of them, I really think that they should be in the base game, but I think that they should open up to you as you progress. I think that would be really cool. And that brings me to our next mod, which is the Wages app, the ability to pay your employees remotely. So we've handled dealers, but now let's talk about your actual employees. Botanists, the movers, all those guys, let's cover them and make sure they're taken care of and made whole through an app. Now, this is something I think would be kind of cool if your uncle hooked you up with someone via the payphone who could handle this online payment service discreetly. Maybe it's done through the deep web or something like that. It would be kind of a cool later game feature. So you are still doing some of that hustle up front, but maybe it kind of tapers off there at the end as you're handling more and more stuff like the cartels. But for now, this is an amazing mod and it is super handy. So it allows you to open an app on your phone and you can hit a pay all wages button and just pay everyone. But if you don't have the money, you can pay all the wages for a specific location. You can even set up auto pay, which is pretty cool. So it's like you're setting up direct deposit for your employees. There's also a beds disabler, but that's not really necessary anymore with the lockers that have been added. There's also a feature that makes your employees work 24/7. I really don't recommend messing with anything other than just using the wages feature. Now moving on, we have something that I really am surprised wasn't in vanilla, and that is the ability to rob stores. So with this mod, you can rob gas stations and the clothing store and maybe even more locations. And you can do one of two things. You can rob the cash register or you can shoplift. So you can go in, stick a gun in their face, take the money from the cash register, or you could discreetly shoplift. It gives you a little bit more of a way of making money at the beginning. That might be a little bit more in line with your character, doing the kind of work they do rather than picking up the trash for everyone. But you know, whatever makes money, why not do both? It's pretty cool too because used to how this mod would work is as soon as you would rob the place, the police would just kind of automatically be on you, but now the NPC actually has to call the police on you. So that's pretty neat. So don't get caught. Otherwise you might end up like I did, dying in a hail of bullets. Now, if you want to play as a psychopath or just as a no-nonsense crime boss, you're going to need to be able to take items off of dead bodies. So that brings me to this next mod, Corpse Pickpocket. And yeah, that's kind of morbid, and you still have to play the stupid pickpocket game even after they're dead, but you know what? It's better than not having the ability to at all. Just don't let the police catch you actually looting the body after they're dead. It seems they don't mind the body, they just mind you looting it, so watch out for that. Now this next mod is definitely going to be added to the game, and I think it originally was in the game, and now it's going to be added back at some point. Could be wrong about that, but whatever. This is the spray paint mod. Most of you probably know about this one, or maybe even already have it yourself. But what this mod does is it adds a spray paint feature to your phone, which seems to be the kind of the only solution for now. There's no like spray paint can or whatever, but it's cool because you basically use your phone's camera to kind of figure out where you want to place art in the world, and you can place it. So it's really cool. You can decorate vehicles, you can decorate walls, you can do whatever you want. You can even add your own images. Although the mod author does recommend using a lower resolution. So what I would say is if you're going to add an image to the game or whatever, just open one of the preset images up in some sort of software and make sure your image is that size. So now not only can you poison the entire population of the town, you can vandalize while you're doing it. All the while picking up trash and making sure the place is squeaky clean. Now moving on to another mod that's pretty cool, more realistic laundering. So I don't know about more realistic laundering. It's more like you're just able to tailor the laundering system to meet your needs, which can make it more realistic. So you can either break the game with this, or you can make it more immersive with the features. What this mod does is it adds a new app to your phone called Tax and Wash, and you can go to the various locations on this app and you can change the various features such as the maximum laundering amount, launder time, and even taxation. It's a really cool feature, and I think you should definitely have this installed if you have a little bit of discipline and want to play it immersively. Or not, you can just break the game. Do whatever you want. Games are for fun. Moving on to the next mod from the same mod author, More Realistic Sleeping, which is kind of a funny name. So this isn't going to just allow you to sleep whenever you want. What it will do though is if you're up past 4 a.m., you can pass out and fall asleep. Also, random things can happen to you while you sleep. So could you get arrested? Yes. Could you get murdered even? Yes. Can you have negative effects happen to you? Yes. Can you have positive effects happen to you? Also yes. You can wake up with that Fallout style well-rested bonus, or you could wake up with a missing kidney. So no more breaking the game and doing infinite labor at 4 a.m. Now you actually have to go to sleep, which is immersive because we need sleep for survival. Some of us. Moving on to this next one, this is a really cool mod and I really like this one. It's a cool idea and something I would like to see in the base game. I'd like to see all these features implemented into the base game, just done a little bit better. But anyways, this is custom TV. So what custom TV allows you to do is play pretty much anything you want on your TV. So all you got to do to make this work is in your mods folder where you're going to have your custom TV DLL put, you're going to have a TV folder. You're going to make this TV folder and you can put any MP4 file you want in there and it will play it on the TVs in the game world. And then holding shift and control, you can hit minus to pause it. You can hit plus to resume it. You can hit the brackets to skip or go to the previous one. You can use the arrows to skip forward or backwards by 10 seconds. And this part is really cool. You can actually copy YouTube URLs and press V while holding control and shift. You hit V and it will paste the YouTube URL to your TV and you can watch YouTube videos. So with the amount of time I spend watching YouTube videos, this is cool because now say you want to take a day off from moving product, your workers are working, everyone's paid, you can take a day off. Why not go hit the casino, walk along the bay with your dog, ride your skateboard, and then come home, watch some YouTube. I don't know. That's a cool feature. I think it's neat and definitely immersive to be able to use your TV. This next mod is more foot patrols. And I think not only is it more immersive, but it actually balances the game a bit. Now, how is having an army of police more immersive? Well, think about it. This town already has a curfew. They've got checkpoints. They're very heavy on the police presence. So I think it makes sense to just have a lot of police out and about. Not only that, but the base game is a little too easy with the police, which is the reason I voted for the police instead of the Cartel update. Whatever. Cartel is the most sexy option. You guys did choose the right thing. Whatever. Eventually it'll be added to the game, but I do think the police need to be fleshed out a lot more than they currently are, or at least made just a bigger threat, a bigger challenge. I only had to deal with them once, and it was pretty easy to shut the situation down because I had firearms. So what this mod's going to do is make it more difficult to run around and do deals, especially late at night. You're really going to earn that extra income you make from the curfew bonus. Just be careful because these guys can really start piling up on you fast, which is why we have this next mod, Stealth Enhanced. So what this is going to do is just make it to where the police can't see you through things, or it kind of cuts down like their view distance. So yes, you're going to have an army of police out at night. You're going to have an army of police out during the day. But now if you're quick enough, you can actually sneak and get away from them. So this is a really cool mod. Highly recommend you get it. It's simple, but it does add immersion to the game. All right. And for this next mod, we have more clothing. This is a simple mod. It adds a few clothing items that are already in the game, and it just gives you the ability to wear them. So if you want to be a psychopath priest who shoots his own employees, members of law enforcement, baptizes them, and then goes out in a glorious hail of bullets, you can definitely do that. They even have a hazmat suit if you want to go for some Breaking Bad roleplay or whatever. They even added the Taco Tickler's cap, and for that alone, you should get this mod. But don't worry, I'm not going to leave you hanging with just those 15 mods. I've actually got a bonus mod for you. But before I get into that, if you found this video helpful or you got any value out of it, go ahead and please leave me a like. It would help me a lot. Or consider subscribing. I don't post too often, so don't worry, I won't blow up your recommended. All right, and for number 16, our bonus mod here, we've got Joyrider. Now, this mod's pretty cool. It allows you to steal vehicles from NPCs and police. So it kind of makes Schedule 1 a little bit more like Grand Theft Auto. Now, you can't just go up to a vehicle that's parked and take it. The NPC either has to be driving it or have recently left the vehicle in order for you to steal it. But just pretend you don't know how to hotwire a car, because chances are you actually don't. So if you need the ability to get away from the police in a pinch, you don't have your handy dandy golden skateboard, go ahead and steal a vehicle and hightail it out of there. Just don't do that in real life. All right, guys, and there you have it. 15 mods, really 17 if you add them all together, that I think make the game a bit more immersive. And they all work together. I've tested them all together and I didn't run into really any issues. I also tried to make sure the mods that I used for this list didn't have very many bug reports at all. If it was higher than 2 or 3, I didn't even bother with it, because in my experience, it's really not even worth it. You spend more time fixing the game than you do playing it, and that's no fun. So all of these mods should work together and you should be able to have fun and not have to mess with it. But as I said at the beginning of the video, if you are interested in modding but a little scared about breaking the game, don't worry, I'll walk you through it. It's super easy for this game. Now, for these mods to work, you're going to need 2 things. First is Melon Loader. Basically what this is it's like a script hook. You're just going to install this. What you're going to do is just download this, open the exe, click install. It's going to ask you for which game, choose Schedule 1, and it will know the directory. At least it did for my Steam install. Then go ahead and just hit the install button, let it install, then you're done. That's all you got to do for Melon Loader. That's it. The second thing is custom commands. And one of the mods that I mentioned, I forget which, but one of the mods in here is dependent on that. So always make sure on Nexus Mods, you're using any mods to check the mod requirements. But anyways, you only need these 2 things to make these mods work. So with custom commands, all you got to do is manually download it, drag it and drop it to your mods folder. And where's your mods folder? Well, I'll tell you. This is if you have a Steam install. Go to local disk C, program files 86, Steam, Steam apps, common, Schedule 1, mods. That's it. So after you've installed Melon Loader and you've dragged custom commands into this mod folder, everything else is super easy to install because all you're going to do for all these mods is manually download them, extract the contents, and literally just copy and paste, drag and drop into this mods folder. Some mods will have like a directory set up to where you'll see a mods folder and maybe like a schedule 1 data folder, whatever. If you see that, just copy both of those folders into your actual schedule 1 directory where the exe file's installed. Those files will go where they need to go automatically. It's super simple. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it'll make sense to you when you download the mods. I'm telling you, there's never been a game that I've played that's easier to mod than Schedule 1. So that's it for this video, guys. If you found it helpful, So that's it for this video, guys. Again, if you found it helpful, please make sure to hit that like button. And if you can subscribe if you want, it's a little bit of a gamble on when I post. I kind of upload about whatever I want, whenever I want. So if you want to join along for the ride, I'm not going to be blowing up your recommended videos or anything like that. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It would help me out a lot. Otherwise, I hope you're enjoying the Cartel update. And I'm really excited for the future of this game. I mean, it has so much potential. It's already there. Like, it's already got so much, but the potential for this game is absolutely massive. If there's anything else you would like to see covered about Schedule 1 or any questions, anything like that, go ahead and drop a comment. Other than that, have a great rest of your day, night, week, year, month, whatever. Stay safe out there and have a good one. Peace.